For the first time in a long time, William felt powerless and weak. He had never felt like this. Ever since he killed those kids in 1985, he had only felt powerful. Henry had bested him once again. As the flames burst through the labyrinth, Henry and Michael had burned alive. The pain was excruciating, but it was worth it. The animatronics burned as well. The spirits were set free. Almost. Charlie, Gabriel, Jeremy, Susie, and Fritz were brought to their happiest day. The spirits who were trapped in the toys had been waiting for decades. Henry, Michael, Garrett, Elizabeth, and Andrew all had the option to go through with happiest day if they chose to rest. What was most important is that Charlie and the kids from 1985 were all there. Most of them were. Cassidy was not. There was something else going on. William woke up. Wait, what? He wondered. He was back in his human body. He was at Freddy's? Okay. Suddenly he heard music. Was that Ballora? Ballora grabbed William and ripped him to pieces. But then he was back. No. More animatronics came to attack William and murder him, rip him to shreds just to put him back together again. William tried to defend himself, but he was fighting against 58 animatronics. William would get killed again and again and again. "I hate this!" he shouted. "Someone help me!" He screamed for help. "Michael, anyone?" But no one came for help. However, some of these animatronics would constantly remind William of the one he should not have killed. The one? William had no clue who the one was. William remembered he had killed so many kids along with those technicians, plus every security guard who died at Freddy's was technically his doing. Who the hell was the one he shouldn't have killed? William's questions were answered when he looked above him and saw the face of a child staring back. It was Andrew. I guess it makes sense, William thought. William remembered he had beaten Andrew senselessly. He had been very brutal when he had killed Andrew. William wanted out of this, but that would bring him to hell. William did not want to be in hell, but he didn't want to be here either. He wanted to wake up. He needed to wake up. Cassidy watched as Andrew tortured William endlessly. She wanted to help Andrew. She wanted to convince him to let his spirit rest. She wanted to tell Andrew to let go and rest with the other children, but it didn't work. Andrew was too blinded by rage to do anything other than torture William. William had been brought to a hospital at that point, Heracles Hospital. The doctors were shocked he was still alive. No one could identify him, though. As Andrew continued to torture William, Cassidy sat by a lake. Michael had chosen to sit at a lake in William's coma world as he was tortured. Cassidy found Michael and she sat next to him. Michael told Cassidy she should leave the demon to his demons, referring to William being tortured by his creations. She should rest her own soul. Cassidy realized Michael was right. Cassidy dived into the lake and ended up in happiest day. She rested with her friends, and the other spirits too. However, while most of the spirits rested, some did not. Michael and Andrew would go to happiest day when they choose. Charlie, even though she was in happiest day, she kept her soul inside the puppet mask, which currently sat in an evidence locker from when police investigated the burned down Freddy's. Cassidy was in heaven, but she watched what went down in Hurricane just in case. As for Fazbear Entertainment, the pizzeria had mysteriously burned down. The public didn't know what happened. The police department knew Henry was involved with the fire, but that was that. There was a rumor someone was going to try to rebrand Fazbear Entertainment and bring it back from the dead, but we would just have to wait and see. Ah, that was so fun. Okay, there you all have it. A FNAF narrative. I enjoyed writing this a lot, and that's because I enjoyed this franchise a lot too. I know certain parts of this might have felt fanficky, but it's the 10-year anniversary. I wanted to have fun with this. I cannot believe the Five Nights at Freddy's series is officially an entire decade old. It's been such a roller coaster experience with every new release, and I love how different every FNAF release feels compared to its predecessor. FNAF is truly a really unique franchise. I find myself obsessing over Five Nights at Freddy's pretty much 24/7. Sure, I have other interests, for example, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Cobra Kai, Doki Doki Literature Club, Spider-Man, and Star Wars, and some others, but none of these compare to my passion for Five Nights at Freddy's. Something about this franchise, I just can't let it go. I want to give a huge thank you to Scott Cawthon for making this awesome series and being the one responsible for all these memories I have due to this franchise. The amount of friends I've made over this franchise has been really amazing.
Who is Serena? Serena Y. Gabina is one of the main characters in Pokemon XY. She first met Ash when they were just children before the events of the Pokemon series and developed a strong crush on him, and had since then became one of his most trusted traveling companions throughout the Kalos region. So how in the holy mother of ass did I come to the conclusion that Serena actually exists in the FNAF universe?
William Afton and Henry Emily were two friends with a dream of making childhoods. Henry was a genius inventor with a knack for the creation of friendly animal characters, while William was a talented businessman. It was the early 1970s, and William and Henry had decided to form a business. They began with a small stage show where one person would dance while wearing a bear costume Henry had crafted.
Now with these two things set up, everything else really starts falling into place. For example, the clear emphasis on Mike Dreamer throughout this movie. It is so strange to me that if this is just a random Schmidt guy, that the massive lore emphasis they put on this movie is dreams, which arguably confirms Mike Dreamer in the games. There's a lot of theories revolving around them, but at the beginning of the film, Jeremiah says this.
And though the dreamer remains asleep, he walks through memory as if experiencing it for the first time anew, no longer a passenger, but an active participant.
As for why the purple guy killed those kids, it has been theorized that perhaps he wanted revenge to the owners of the company for either firing him or for his youngest son dying due to an accident which took place either before or after the missing children incident. It was also possible that he just did it for fun.
And none of that would have been possible if it weren't for Scott. I really appreciate you, Scott. Thank you so much for everything you do for this fan base. And I hope you also had a great 10 years and are having a good time during the 10-year anniversary. Now, without further ado, thank you everyone for watching these videos. This took a while to write. You all are amazing if you watched every single part to this. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye everyone.